I learned a lot at SAIT, and we had some fun too. Yeah.
Doug Horner is back at SAIT.
That's why really my business career started here.
30 years ago, the Tory leadership candidate was just out of high school, recently married, and working on a pipeline near Caroline in 40 below weather.
Realized that's not really what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And it was the post-secondary education and the business training that I took here that got me into the banking business, that got me centered, going around southern Alberta. It really did start in Calgary from post-secondary. So this is important to where I'm at today.
One of the last ones of the easy ones.
That's why he chose SAIT for this interview.
Oh, that's fabulous.
There's a lot of construction on campus, much of it green-lighted when Horner was advanced education minister.
It's too nice to see it now. Like I saw all the drawings and the number of years that we went looking at the pictures to see it coming up. That's great.
While he's had a number of jobs in his career, politics is the Horner family business. His late father, Dr. Hugh Horner, was one of the original 6 Tory MLAs, eventually serving as deputy premier in Peter Lougheed's government. Doug even got his dad's old desk when he became agriculture minister in 2004. His uncle Jack Horner shocked many in 1977 when the Alberta MP crossed the floor in Ottawa to join the Liberals. Counting his grandfather and an uncle, at one point there were 4 Horners on Parliament Hill. So this 50-year-old knows politics can be a blood sport.
What is this going to do to my family? Because we've seen in the past where people who, like me, grew up in political families, grew up with their parents being quite involved and not having very positive experiences out of it.
He says he's seeking the Conservative leadership in part because the PC party has lost its identity.
I'm not a Unite the Right candidate. I've said that a number of times. Sometimes people take a big breath or a deep gulp when I say that. But the reality is I'm a Unite the Progressive Conservatives candidate because when we talk about values for the party, their compassion, their integrity, their commitment to excellence, their innovation, not fiscal restraint, not developing some line of moral righteousness that we shouldn't cross over on the right-hand side. That's the party that was in power in the 60s. That's the Social Credit Party. That's not who we are. So we should stop trying to get over there. So then I did a business diploma and went into marketing after that.
Horner has worked in banks, multinational food companies, and started his own businesses.
Actually, my first job was after school. It was John's Menswear in Barhead selling clothes, men's clothes. It taught me that I did want to get into business, which is why I ended up enrolling here in the business courses because it was, to me, I like relationships. That's what got me into international business. I like building those relationships, so customer-client kind of relationship. Understanding, what it takes to make a dollar and to make a payroll.
A not too subtle shot at career politicians seeking the leadership.
So tell me what the last movie was that you saw.
Last movie that I saw would have been
Our enemy can take any shape.
Transformers.
Could be anywhere.
And?
The new one. Interesting movie, lots of action. Good. I would say I'd prefer the original, but that's me. Adele, Running in the Deep. That's probably the last thing I downloaded. I've got everything from, believe it or not, bagpipe music to Clint Black to Led Zeppelin to Adele to, and if I like it, I like the sound of it, it goes on the iPod. During the campaign, I haven't had time to read a book or anything, or even watch TV. So, but when I read for pleasure, if you will, and I do love to read, I've got boxes and boxes of books that my wife gives me a hard time about. It's usually something around the suspense, something around military history, or something around the history, kind of a history buff. So that's the kind of stuff I like to read. When I can, Rose and I would like to sit with the family and watch a movie. We'll go down and rent something, whatever it's going to be. It's just about being together.
As a business student in the early 80s, Horner juggled school in the day and jobs in a bank or at a service station at night. But his best memories of his time at SAIT are the people he met.
I think we probably spent as much time sitting, drinking coffee, and shooting the breeze as we did in the classroom. I shouldn't probably say that, but it's true. And,
With politics editor Chris Varco and files from Darcy Henton, Rick Donkers, CalgaryHerald.com.
Is in making those relationships, politics no different?